You people might have heard already about Sutherland. So irrespective of your education background, so even if you are not qualified enough with a degree, you are eligible to apply for this particular job. So before we get into the detail of this particular job, if you are new viewer to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell button next to it so that regular video updates on job postings will be received to you. If we look at this position is called Associate Transaction Processing. It's an associate role, which is a startup role. So any freshers can apply for this. And even if you are a tenured person, you can even try it out. So it is not that you should hold a degree or a basic graduation for this particular job posting. It's all that just you are to possess a proper communication. So that's more than enough. A good communication in English is more than enough for applying for this particular position. This position is currently based in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and the job description is it's seeking an attentive and goal-oriented person to join a consult collection. So we are a group of driven hard work individuals, as the Sutherland known for the people. So if you are about to build a fulfilling career and confident, you have a skill and experience to help us succeed. So the company is looking for someone who has aspiration for developing themselves and building a better career for them with the confidence can very well apply for this job. So they haven't mentioned about your qualification, about your background. It's all you need is a aspiration and the fulfillment idea for the company. This role gets into you have to educate the customer regarding their payments and negotiate approximate payment dates. So you'll be interacting with the direct customer over the phone or probably might be over the email. So you have to explain things to the customer regarding the payment and negotiate the approximate payment dates where it will be completed. So you have to negotiate on the dates and negotiate a payment date of customers' debts. Okay, it's all that the customers who have actually bought a loan or would have created debts through any of the company for whom you would be working through Sutherland. So you are about to discuss with the customer. You have to make sure you establish a clear contact with them. You establish your clear goals of the call, and then you make sure a proper discussion is made, and eventually you will come up with a proper payment date which the customer agrees to clear his debt. So you are responsible to manage the inbound as well as the outbound calls to recover from applicable or assigned account customers. So you are supposed to handle the both inbound and outbound. Inbound is something which comes directly to any specific number and that would be routed to you. And outbound is something which you make calls yourself. So you are responsible for both the calls and for recovering the applicable or assigned accounts or customers. So whatever is being assigned for you, you are responsible for both the inbound and outbound calls in order to make sure the collection happens and the actual return of money happens for the designated account or a customer for you. So and you are the process correspondents. So make sure you follow up with your customer as soon as you complete with your actual process and your follow-up process. You make sure the correspondence are handled properly. So and then you have to maintain the best customer experience, as we were discussing this point in various companies various roles we have been discussing about representing a company at the goodwill of the company. You have to make sure, since you are acting as a liaison between the company and the customer, you are responsible to make sure you establish a proper image to the client in front of image of a company in front of the client. So your responsibility lies with you in order to make sure you are creating a proper brand reputation. Brand reputation is something which the companies would look for. So acting as a face of a company, you will be end-to-end responsible for making sure that the company's reputation is held high with the customer. So you have to maintain the best customer experience, possibly achieving the collection goals. So besides being best and showcasing yourself as best in front of the client, you are supposed to achieve your goals as well. So the collection are the goals which is set for you, and you have to make sure your collection goals are also achieved. So deliver an experience to every customer meeting credit shop service standard. So you have to deliver an experience to every customer, and that meets up with credit shop service standard. So that's a standard which is set with most of the abroad companies and even domestic companies, which in turn actually showcases what has to be done and how it has to be treated when it comes to the question of customers who are in debt with the credits. So consistent deliver. So achieve all the KPIs, key process indicators. Work proactively to ensure potential issues are escalated appropriately. This is something which we look at every position that is at the startup level. So this position requires you to achieve all the agreed KPIs. So you are supposed to follow all the key process indicators while it comes to serving the customer, and you have to proactively ensure all the potential issues are properly escalated to your hierarchy. It is not that you have to hold them with yourself without any escalations or moving it further to your hierarchy or to your manager, and it's of no use to hold it with you. So unless it is escalated, you won't be able to solve the customer's query. So you have to make sure it happens. The qualifications, so out of most successful candidates, so the shortlisted candidates, the most successful candidates, if you look at the key areas which the company has been looking for is being mentioned here. It's not that they are looking for some proficient people or someone who is credible enough to get recruited. It's something which they have come up with the listings based on whomever already being selected into the company. So it's a benchmark which the company has set. So our most successful candidates will have. So that's what it's being claimed. It is not that the qualification required or preferred qualification. It's all that they have mentioned is our most successful candidates will have. So this is what is expected as a benchmark in order to break through this position. So English proficiency language skill. So you are supposed to have good English, while it should be both conversation, read and write. So it has to be all the three ways. So you have to read, write and speak good English. You have to be proficient enough in the language. And negotiation skill, you should be good at negotiating, because you are going to handle the clients of Sutherland. So the clients of Sutherland. So it's like direct customers of Sutherland's client. So you have to make sure that you have that negotiation ability in order to make sure, even though the company gives you training about the process, about the other parameters which you have to make sure adhering while doing the process. So the execution of these protocols would only be possible if you possess certain skill sets which the company is looking for, and one such skill is this negotiation skill. Then collection skill, of course, as we were discussing about the description of this job, we were going through, you have to make sure the collection also happens besides presenting yourself with a good customer experience. So on top of the customer experience, you have to look for this collection skills as well. So you have to possess good collection skill and able to work positively in a fast paced and changing environment. So it's obvious that most of these tech companies would have these kind of arrangements where it will have fast paced environment, and the changes would happen drastically when it comes to the developments as well. So there can be something which is happening today, and by tomorrow, if you look at it, some new process would come in or new program would come in which actually evades the previous followed protocols and process. You should be in a position to adapt to those changes, and you have to make sure you deliver your best in spite of overcoming those hiccups caused due to those changes. Ability to multitask and have excellent organizational skill. You have to do a multitask. You should have that ability and organizational skill. So that's obvious that any company would look for a decorum and the organizational skill when it comes to MNCs. So building rapport, be able to show empathy. So while interacting with the customer, you should always have this hand-on empathy. So unless you are empathetic, you wouldn't be able to understand the situation, or you wouldn't be able to give console or clear cut explanation or solution for any customer. So effective communication skill, as we were discussing, besides English language, you should also process effective communication. There is a way to make the communication that has to be adapted by you and executed by you in a proper way. And working knowledge of PC environment, of course PCs are mandatory, so personal computer. Without a computer you wouldn't be able to perform any role in nowadays. So comfort and familiarity with desktop tools, so you have to be clear enough with the desktop tools, as in the basic tools, MS Office, those kind of basic tools is more than enough. You have to be comfortable with using those tools, can be a software or inbuilt software for the company itself. So high school diploma is required. So it's enough if you just hold a high school diploma. A bachelor degree is a plus, but they haven't mentioned you have to hold a degree. It's all that they need is a high school diploma. Even if you have completed your high school, you are very well open to apply for this particular position, irrespective of your other education qualifications. So experience in customer centric environment is a plus. So again, that's being considered here. It's not mandatory. So if you have any experience in a customer centric environment, that would be an added advantage for you. So experience in working finance related fields is also a plus, and experience working in collection is also a plus. These are an additional expectation from the company, but all they look for is someone who has a high school diploma and a good communication and good negotiation collection skill with an English proficiency and ability to do multitasking and positively work on a fast paced environment with changing environment as well, and build a rapport and work on PC environment with comfort in desktop tools. This is the requirements of the company. So if you are from a background of customer centric environment or finance related field or collection, that would be an added advantage for you and preference for you as well. And a bachelor degree is also an added advantage. Though the company has, if you look at the post closely, the company has not even mentioned preference would be given for these. It's just a plus they have mentioned. So I hope we have dealt in detail with this particular job posting. If at all you got any questions or queries, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. I've given this link on the below description box. So once you open the reference link, you'll be able to get directed to this particular job application. You can go through it by yourself, and once you open this, click this apply now button. So you'll be directed to the registration process where you have to register yourself with the company's portal, as we were discussing on many of these MNC cases where you have to register yourself on their portal in order to make sure you get the opportunity, and even if you don't crack it, you'll get to hear from them on the relevant positions on the future. So that's why they ask you to register yourself. So if at all you got an account with Sutherland already, you can sign in using this already have an account, or if you don't have an account, try keying in your email address, and then if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can log in through that as well. So once you key in your email address, you'll be directed to the next phase of the application, and that will actually ask you to fill all your personal details and employment details and education details, and based on that you'll be able to place your application for this particular job posting. So this is how. So you have to upload your resume. So once you enter your email address, you have been directed here. So and for this question, you have to upload your resume and then your personal information. So all about your contact details, your personal details, about your postal address, and then few general questions about your portfolio would be asked for, and pre-screening questions on how about your previous background and what have you been doing, and few questions about your customer centric point, and then the experience credentials. Of course your education and experience detail have to be filled here, and you have to e-sign it, and then after reviewing you'll be submitting your application, and once that is done, your application gets through the system of Sutherland. So they'll still have your data, so that will be a disclaimer requesting you to acknowledge that. So they'll still hold the profile with them. Even if you don't crack, or even if you crack it, they'll have the resume and the updated profile with them to reach you if something turns up to be a relevant position open, like relevant position to your profile is open with them. So please do not forget to like this video, share it with your friends. Definitely it would be helpful for them. So at this pandemic time, most of them would have stranded without job, and they would have lost their livelihoods as well. So it's good that you could share with them. If that could be of a helpful for someone who is really in need, that will be of a great news for us. So share it with your friends, support the channel, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell button next to the subscription button so that you'll regularly receive the videos from us. So see you soon with another new job posting. Till then, take care guys. Bye bye.